and welcome to my channel. In today's video I'm going to continue with the shells in crochet, and this one is called the Starburst. It's shells and clusters combined to make this nice little design. And it's usually used when making a blanket or an afghan. And so let's get started. To begin, we will start with a slip knot. Make sure you leave yourself a tail for weaving in. And then we're going to do a chain, and your chain, the number of stitches needs to be a multiple of 8. And to do your chain, you just grab your yarn and bring it through. And remember, when counting, you don't count the loop that's on your hook. So a multiple of 8. For my multiple of 8, I'm going to do 24. So I will meet you at the end of my chain. And here I am at the end of my 24 stitches. And so once you have your multiple of 8, you're going to add on 10 more. So for me, my multiple of 8 was 24. 10 more gave me a total of 34, which I've already done. And to work the stitches we're going to work in, we're going to go ahead and work in this top loop here on the front. So you can see when you're looking at it, it makes like this V here, and we're going to work right into that top loop. So we're going to skip the first chain from the hook, so don't count this one. So there's one. And we're going to start in the second chain, and we're just going to do one single crochet into that one. And then we're going to skip 3, 1, 2, 3, and do 9 double crochets into that next stitch. And for a refresher, for doing a double crochet, you just yarn over, bring up your loop, pull through 2, and pull through 2. And we're going to do a total of 9 into this one stitch here. So there's 2. You want to make sure you're doing these all into that same stitch. Okay, so now that I have my 9, that's going to give us our first shell. And then we're going to skip 3. And into this fourth one, we're just going to do one single crochet. And then you'll repeat that all the way across. So I did my one single crochet. I'm going to skip 3 and do 9 double crochets into this next one. There's my 9, and then we'll skip 3, 1, 2, 3, and just do a single crochet into that next stitch. And so you'll continue to repeat that. So here's our single crochet, skip 3, do 9 double crochet into that one stitch right there, and then you'll skip 3, do a single crochet, skip 3, do your 9, and you'll continue doing that until you reach the end of row 1. So that's the end of row 1, and you should end with just a single crochet in that last stitch. And to begin row 2, and rows 2, 3, 4, and 5 will be the ones that you repeat over and over until you reach the number of rows that you're looking for. So if you're doing a blanket or something. But to begin row 2, we're going to chain 3, turn your work, and make sure your shells are all facing the right way and they're not all twisted up. And we're going to skip this first stitch here, and we're going to do a 4 double crochet cluster. So what you're going to do is you're going to yarn over, go into this next stitch, bring up your loop, grab your yarn, pull through those first 2, and you're going to leave these on your hook. And you're going to yarn over, go into the second one, so this will be 2, grab your yarn and pull through those first 2 loops, leaving you with 3, and then you'll yarn over, go into stitch number 3, and grab your yarn, pull through those first 2 loops, and this will be number 4. So yarn over, go through number 4, bring up your loop, pull through 2, and then to finish off your cluster, you're going to yarn over, grab your yarn, and you're going to pull through all 5 of these loops that were on your hook, and then we're going to chain 4, and we're going to single crochet into this next stitch. So you can see this is, we worked into this one, so we want a single crochet into this next stitch, and we're going to chain 3, and then beginning in this next stitch we're going to do a 9 double crochet cluster. So yarn over, go through that next stitch, grab your yarn, and only pull through those first 2. Yarn over, and then only pull through 2. So that was 2, 3, 4, 5, and you're going to end up with quite a few loops on your hook. Just make sure you don't let them slide off the other end. And so each time you're only pulling through those first 2 loops. Okay, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here's 7. 8. And 9. And then you're going to grab your yarn and pull through all of those loops. You might have to work your way through. And then you're going to chain 4, this next stitch, you'll just single crochet and chain 3. And that'll be your pattern for row 2. You're going to do a 9 double crochet cluster, then you'll chain 4, do a single crochet, chain 3, and then do your cluster again. And you'll do that till you get towards the end of your row. I'm coming to the end of row 2. So I just did my cluster, I chained 3, or I chained 4. Now I'm going to do my single crochet and chain 3, and then we're just going to do a cluster of 5 for this last bit. And then you'll chain 4, and you're ready to start row 3. So for row 3, you can see you had your little cluster here. We're going to do 4 double crochets right into that little stitch we did here. Now we're going to come over here where we've got our single crochet, and we're just going to do a single crochet right into that stitch. And then for the rest of the pattern, we're going to do 9 double crochets into this stitch here in each of our clusters. So you'll do 9 double crochets, it might start to look like they're not going to fit, but they'll fit. Oops. And 9. And then you'll come over here to this one single crochet here and just do a single crochet. And then you'll repeat that in each of these. So each of these little spaces here where you've got your other loops worked into, you'll do 9 double crochet, and then do 1 single crochet, 9 double crochet, and 1 single crochet until you reach the end of your row. When you come to the end of row 3, here I've done my single crochet, and we're just going to do 5 double crochets into that space that we had our little 5 or our cluster of 4. So we're going to do 5 double crochets into that space. And then we're going to single crochet into this chain space here. And then we will chain 3, turn your work, and we're ready to begin row 4. Row 4, we're going to skip this first space, and we're going to do a cluster, a 9 double crochet cluster. So yarn over, go into that next space, bring up your loop, grab your yarn, and only pull through those first 2 loops. Then you'll yarn over, go into the next one, bring up your loop, and pull through 2. So we're going to do 9 of those. And once you have your 9, grab your yarn and work it all the way through all those loops. Now we're going to chain 4, in the next stitch we'll just do 1 single crochet, and then you'll repeat that process all the way across. So you'll do your 9 double crochet cluster, chain 4, do 1 single crochet, chain 3, and then you'll do your 9 double crochet cluster and your single crochet. Row 4, we're going to skip this first space and do a 9 double crochet cluster. Make sure you're only pulling through those first 2 loops and keeping your loops on here. So there's 2, and then when you're done with those 9, you'll grab your yarn and work it all the way through all of the loops. Chain 4, and then you're going to single crochet into that next stitch, and then chain 3, and you'll repeat by doing your cluster of 9. You'll chain 4, do a single crochet, chain 3, and repeat that all the way across your row. Of row 4, I just did my 9 double crochet clusters. I'm going to chain 4, and then just do a single crochet into that final stitch, chain 1, and turn. And then we'll do row 5. We'll be doing 9 double crochets into this first stitch here. So we're going to skip this one and come over here into that stitch that we did our cluster. and we're going to do 9 double crochets. So there's 9. And once you've got your 9 double crochets, we're just going to single crochet into that single crochet that we had done in the previous row. And then you'll come over, and in that next space you'll do your 9 double crochets followed by 1 single crochet, and you'll continue doing that till you've reached the end of your row. And once you've reached the end of your row and you've done your 9 double crochets, we're just going to do a single crochet in that single crochet space there at the very end, and that completes row 5. And if you are going to continue, you would begin at row 2 and repeat row 2, 3, 4, and 5 over and over until you have reached the size that you're looking for on your project. And here I've done a few more rows, repeating rows 2 through 5. And that's what it ends up looking like. You can see these little clusters that you did end up forming kind of a circle there. And it looks the same on both sides. And there you go. Hope you enjoyed my video and have fun crocheting.